Hello, class. This is Dr. Borgi here. My first name is Amy, last name is Borgi, and I'm a doctor of clinical psychology, which is, basically people who become a therapist, teacher, researcher, stuff like that. I am also currently a special education teacher for K through 12. I teach little kids, TK, kindergarten, first grade, and I even have a couple second and third graders. I teach in LA in Van Nuys for an Armenian school, which is really fun. So my availability, if you need to reach me for any reason, is going to be after school. So I think usually 4:30 p.m. and on. If you do text me throughout the day, I am available. My phone number is 909-224-1204. I will always text you as soon as I can get back to you. If I'm in the middle of meetings or if I'm with my students, I really can't use my phone because my students have special needs. I can't let them out of my sight. It's pretty much, I have to be 100% paying attention. So when I'm on lunch or on break, I can message people back. So please be patient, but I do get back to you via text as soon as possible. My phone number is 909-224-1204. Now, I'm one of those people that does not answer the phone if I don't know the number. So if you plan on calling me for any reason, please text me first to let me know you're calling so I know it's you. Because I get a lot of telemarketers, a lot of ex-boyfriends I don't want to talk to, stuff like that. So please text me always first if you want to reach me by phone. If you would like to reach me at the Chafee extension, it's just going to tell you to call my regular number. I never check my messages there. Again, my phone number 909-224-1204. Text me first. You can reach me by email, but I'm going to warn you that it takes me about 48 hours to respond to emails. So if you need me, you're going to have to text me. That is the fastest way to reach me, and I strongly urge you to do that if you need me for any reason, okay? So that being said, I have 21 years of teaching experience, and I've been teaching this course. I'm not sure if it's like 18 years or something like that, but I think it's like 18 years. So I'm going into, I think 2026 will be my 22nd year at Chafee. I've always been an adjunct instructor, meaning I just teach on the side, and I have other things that I'm always doing. So I'm a busy woman. I have got a lot of things going on. However, I love teaching this class. Okay, so now that I've introduced myself, I want to say that most of the time I usually do a video like this in which you're seeing my face, but this term I really wanted to switch it up a little bit and see if I can give you more of a tutorial on how to navigate through the course and show you some of the things rather than just explain them verbally. So let's get to it. So I have logged into my Chafee view, and this is where you go to register and all that stuff. So over here we have Canvas. So I'm going to click on Canvas, and then it's going to look like this, right? And you'll see all your published courses. If you are enrolled in this class, this will appear on the first day that that you have access to it, which would be for this class October 13th. This is Guidance 507, section 43370. Now, it's very important that you watch this entire video from start to finish because it has all of the information that you need to be successful in the class. If you fail to watch it, you may be dropped from the class because you won't know what to do or what's going on, and you do have something you have to turn in right away. It's due on Wednesday, the 16th, okay? So please listen to the entire video. The other part is that I offer extra credit somewhere in this video. So if you are listening to the entire video or following along, you can figure it out. Now, I'm giving you a hint here. You can also always, in YouTube, look at the transcript, and I'll show you how to do that in just a sec. So we're going to click on this, Guidance 507. Oh. So anyway, it will take you to this homepage. Now, in the past, this is actually our course, right? But it still has one thing left from the last year's version of the course. So this was from fall 2024. This is my intro video. And I'm just going to watch it on YouTube. So I'm going to go there because I want to be able to show you, okay, that's what I look like. And if you go down here, you should be able to find where it says, let's see. So here's my explanation of what's in the video. So I'm going to click on more. And then if I could ask questions or I could show the transcript for the video. So I can literally show the transcript everything I say is going to be over here. So if you ever have a video from me where you can't understand clearly or you can't listen to it, you're like, darn it, I can't do my work right now. Yes, you can. You can actually just take this transcript and you can copy and paste it, okay? So, and you can search for certain things in the video. So if there's a certain thing you're looking for, you can type that in. So I could type in like textbooks, and it'll take me to where I'm talking about textbooks, and you can see where in the video that is. Isn't that lovely? And you do have the option of highlighting and copying and pasting the entire transcript. You can go here and put toggle timestamps. Now, I don't really have timestamps on this particular video, but on some videos I do, so that's the situation. The other thing that you can do is you can add captions to the video, so you could put captions here, and then as it's playing, I'm going to just turn the volume down so you can't really hear it, but you can read it too. And they spelled my name wrong. It's Borghi, just saying. So you say my name, Borghi. It's Dr. Borghi, okay? So anyway, going back over here. So the video, when I update it, will be this video that you're watching. This will be here instead. This is the one from last term. Okay, so let me take you through this page. So we have SpongeBob with a boa says welcome, and it says start by watching the course introduction video. So you'll start by watching that video. If you can't access the video, you can just click here and it should take you to the beginning of the class where you start, okay? We have extra credit Success Center workshops, and those are here. Oh my goodness. Oops. Okay, yeah. So, and while we're here, so most of this class takes place in modules view. So over here on the left-hand side, we have this lovely thing called modules, and that unlocks all the modules in the course that are available. If you don't want to like scroll through everything, you can just click on these little arrows to tuck everything up, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about this extra credit. So the open office hour meetings, they're going to be 15 points each. They're on Zoom. They're only going to be in the evenings, and I don't think I'm going to do any weekends. It's going to be Monday through Friday, sometime either like between 6 and 9 or 10. So between 6 and 10. I think I've already scheduled them. So I will be attaching the full schedule here, and I will also be leaving an announcement here. Okay. The other extra credit are the Success Center activities online. And I'm going to go ahead and go view as a student here because it looks a little different in my version. So right now you're just going to see this where it says setting up your Academia account. Academia is where you make appointments for the Success Center activities. Now, the problem right now for me is that they're always changing their procedures. And so prior to giving you this information, I want to make sure the procedures are tight and that you guys aren't confused. So I will post this as soon as I get to the bottom of that, okay? You can do these throughout the term, but they are offered at the Success Center. The Success Center, the Rancho Success Center, I believe is what it's called. Or it's called the Multidisciplinary Success Center. So that Success Center is going to be where you complete those activities. I will give you more information about that. They are in the syllabus, so you'll see it, and it says like dates TBA, which means to be announced or to be determined. So that's there, and those will be posted there. And here I'm going to be posting all of the meetings and the Zoom links for those there. Okay, so let's go to announcements really quick before I start going into the course materials. So the announcements, you really need to check this every couple days. So I would check it like maybe like Wednesday night, and then I check it again on Sunday and Monday. Those are the days that I usually am posting things, but you can set it to where the notifications on your phone or on your computer pop up whenever I do send out something or whenever I update something, so that way you kind of can stay on top of it. I know that you have a life outside of this. Trust me, I have a life too. But the thing is, you need to check multiple times a week so you don't miss anything. In announcements, I usually share things like, hey, I'm deleting an assignment. That happens a lot actually, because these 8-week classes can get crazy in terms of how much work we have to do in such a short time. I want you to know that taking this in the 8-week format is really just a lot, because there's just a lot of assignments. So I'm saying that here at the beginning of this video so that way you can make a good decision about whether this is the right class for you or not. Other sections of this class that are not 8 weeks are going to be a little easier because it's stretched out over a longer period of time. but you may want to just get it over with in 8 weeks, but it's going to be busy. So if you're already taking other classes and you're feeling overwhelmed now, I would not add this class on top of your other classes. If you're already taking like 3 classes and this is your 4th class, don't do it to yourself, okay? This class takes approximately 9 hours a week to complete all the stuff. 3 hours of going through all the Canvas materials and readings, 3 hours of homework, and then maybe 3 hours of reading out of the textbook. There are multiple textbooks for this course, and I will get to that in just a minute, but I do want to say that this announcement section is very important, and I'm often leaving extra credit in this area as well. Now, these announcements are from last year. I haven't updated the assignments portion. This will all like reset itself when the class starts. So I'm going to go ahead and leave student view right now and go back here to modules. All right, so we're going to take a look at the things that are due this week, and some of those things are like your assignments for the week, but one of the assignments is purchasing your textbooks. So the course introduction video will also be placed here at the top of this course intro module for those of you who are on a phone, because a lot of times this homepage doesn't display perfectly. Okay. There are little buttons that lead you to the module for each week. So if I click here, it'll take me to course intro. It won't take you to places where it's not open yet. So like if I click on 8, it's going to be like, whoops, there's nothing here, because you guys don't have access to that yet. Actually, it's not published yet. So there you go. All right. So anyway, let's go here. So we're going to go to where it says start here, read this first. Now, all of this information is available to you, and it's also in the syllabus. But I'm not like other teachers, okay? Even if you've taken Canvas classes before, like, you know, we are definitely operating on a different vibe here, okay? So we're always using this modules button to access all of our assignments, okay? That's what we're doing. And we don't want to this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to go through this thing and click on like this and then start clicking down here to go through everything. So like this is long, right? So you're going to click next. Don't do this. Don't go through your stuff like this. It's just frustrating. So I would say just go to modules, look at everything that's in the module, and then go piece by piece through. You can click the arrows if you'd like to, but don't think that you only have to click the arrows. If you want to navigate faster, go to modules and then look and find the thing you're looking for, okay? You can also look in this assignments tab for assignments, in the discussions tab for discussions, in the quizzes tab for quizzes, and in the grades tab for grades. The Zoom tab, you can access Zoom through that, I believe. Let's take a look. It's blank. No, here we go. Yeah. So I can actually add, it looks like course meetings and things here, which is great. I didn't know that this existed. It must be a new thing, and I'm excited about it. So I may move, instead of having a Zoom module, maybe we'll do it here. We'll see if I am that advanced technologically by the time we get there. So anyway, I'm going back to modules. I'm going to the course introduction. I'm going to go ahead and toggle these closed. Okay, so we were here, and basically what I would like you to know is that there are videos here on how to navigate Canvas for this class, and then all of the information that is important. So I'm going to go through it real quick. You want to make sure you follow instructions, because that's how I grade things. You may notice that there's a lot of text, but you can have the text read out loud to you by highlighting this. And on most computers, you can set it up so in accessibility settings, so that way you can do text to speech. And for me, I actually set mine up as Control S or something, but you have to go into the settings for your computer to do that. If you are a disabled student and you need help doing that, the DPS office can help you. If you are not a disabled student but you want to learn how to do that, I would Google it with AI and maybe ask chatbot GPT how to do it, and it'll tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and click to read it.
One of the most important things you can learn in college is how to follow instructions. As an instructor, I notice that a lot of students don't bother reading instructions and miss valuable points. Maybe they are trying to save time by doing things this way. But it costs a lot when it comes to their grades. I do take off points for not following instructions on assignments, and I do try to give you clear instructions so you can be successful. Some things you will notice about this course.
Okay, so you will turn in most assignments online via Canvas. In fact, you'll turn in all of your assignments that way. And we don't have a class period, so that doesn't apply to our class, okay? But you must use proper grammar, spelling, and punctuation. So I want you to show me your best college level work. You can use this thing called Grammarly, and I do have a spot for that, and I will show you where that is. So I actually have a duplicate copy of our course here, so I can kind of show you stuff while we're going through. Oops. So I'm going to open that, and that way I can kind of keep my place in the other spot. So when I go to modules here, and I look in this course intro, I will find that somewhere in here there's Grammarly for Canvas. This is going to help you with your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. These are links to add the extension, the plugin extension to a browser in Google Docs or in Microsoft Office. This is just grammarly.com where you can sign up for an account, okay? And if you do this one where it's embedded in the browser, it will work in Canvas. And there's like a little button at the bottom. I wonder if I can like show you. Let's see what we can do here. So if Canvas or if Grammarly is on, you'll see a little green circle at the bottom and you'll click on it. I don't have it turned on, but I'm going to say this. I do use Grammarly quite a bit to edit my work and to edit this, okay? So that way it's not full of errors all the time. So I expect you to use Grammarly in Canvas as you're working on your assignments. So set that up right away so you don't get points marked down. I mark down points in an increasing way as the term goes on for spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So at first I might give you a warning like, hey, you're missing 1 point for grammar, spelling, and punctuation. But if you keep doing the same stuff, by the time we get to the end, I'm going to take half of your points away for grammar, spelling, and punctuation because I feel like it's a learning process. And by the end of the term, you should definitely know how to use Grammarly. All right, so how do I grade? By how well you followed the instructions. Why do I do that? Because our assignments are all like self-reflection type of things where you're basically talking about your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, wants, needs, and maybe even past traumas or things that you've had. And so that is something that I'm not going to grade you on. I'm not grading you on the content, okay? There's a couple assignments where like if you don't understand the material and you write that down, you're probably going to get marked down because you don't understand the material. But for the most part, it literally is just following the instructions. So here's some instructions that students often miss, and these are about Canvas itself. So Canvas times out a lot. So like if you're working in Canvas, like maybe on an assignment, I don't work in Canvas like that. Usually what I do is I'll work in like a word processor like Google Docs, Pages, Microsoft Office, and then I will, just copy and paste my stuff into the text box, or I will save my document and upload the document. One thing that we are not allowed to do here is send links to assignments because it's not fair. So this is why. So let's say you use Google Docs, which is like a cloud sharing service. So no cloud sharing services, no Dropbox, no Evernote, no cloud links. So if you're copying and pasting a link to your assignment in your assignment, that's not okay for this class. And see, this is why this video is really important, because if you turn your work in that way, the first time I'm going to give you half credit. And from that point on, you're going to get 0 points anytime you submit a link for that assignment. I am not going to allow you the option to turn it in later. I don't take late work for assignments. So there's a hard deadline for every single assignment in this class. Why is that? Because I care about you and I want you to learn how to manage your time effectively, because that's what it takes to be a good student. So no links to assignments. The thing about links to assignments is that half the time people forget to set the permissions properly. And so I can't access their assignment when I'm trying to grade it. So that's the first reason why. The second reason why is that you can continue to work on Google Docs and these cloud linked assignments after the turn-in date. And like it sometimes takes me a whole week to grade stuff. So that would give people who turned it in that way an extra week to like update their assignment. And that's not fair. And my deadline is a hard deadline. So you need to turn it in with a uploaded document, or you can use a screenshot of your assignment for most things. I don't care if you even write it out and take a picture. So sorry if you can hear the beeping in the background, but so you can also copy and paste your text into the text box for the assignment and then upload it. And I'll show you a little bit how to do that. So for each week of the class, you should do these things in this order. You want to start by checking the syllabus for readings and assignments. So the syllabus is very important, and it's important that you use it. Let me show you where it's located. So I'm going to modules. This is in my side browser here. So at the bottom of this course intro module is going to be your syllabus. And I'm going to switch to student view so you can kind of see what it looks like in your view. So here's the syllabus. Yours is going to be in the PDF format. You click on this to access that syllabus. Here it is. Let's go through a little bit of it while we're here, okay? So the syllabus is very, very important. You're going to go through it. This has all the important dates for the term. This has the Opening Doors office email and their phone number. I have heard feedback that they take a lot longer than 2 business days to return calls at this point. There's not always someone answering the phone, and if you leave a message, they may or may not call you back in a timely manner. The email is responded to much more quickly, so I would say always use the email for these guys, kind of the opposite of me. So let's see, here's all my contact information, and the office hours are by appointment only. I actually do have office hours, but I just didn't really want to take the time to put them in here because it's a lot, and you can just access that in Canvas. Okay, so here's our textbooks for the class. This one you have to buy, the On-Course 8th edition, the ebook version, and this is the optional textbook. Like, you don't have to buy it, but I'll give you extra 10 points if you do purchase it and submit it in the assignment. You also need to purchase a day planner. Any day planner is fine as long as it's a day or a week at a glance, or no, a day or a week at a glance is fine, just not a month at a glance. Okay, so that means on one page is going to be either one day, or you're going to open the 2 pages and it'll be like a whole week on those pages. The reason I don't want you to do like monthly planners is because the boxes are so small, you're not going to be able to write all your stuff, all your assignments in it. Okay, here's a section on student resources. Like, every student resource you could imagine is in here, and you can take a look at those anytime you want. These are the learning outcomes for our class. And while I'm here looking at this, I'm just going to say that we have done research on this class for many years. And so we don't really do that research anymore because we know that this program is effective. It is very effective. A lot of our students go on to get their degree here at Chaffee, their associate's degree, but they also go on to get bachelor's degrees. And we even have quite a few students who have gone on to get like a JD, like in becoming a lawyer, or getting a master's degree in something. And we even have 2 PhDs. So that's kind of cool. I think our program is designed to keep students in college, and we're all happy that you're here. Trust me, we're so happy you've chosen to take this class. So you can look at this and see like kind of what you're going to be learning. But I can tell you this class will change your life if you allow it to, and if you engage in the work. So if you're engaging in the work, if you're doing everything and you're using the tools that are given and practicing them in your life, you're going to see change happen, and you're going to become a better person and a better student as a result of that. Okay, so my teaching philosophy here is that I'm here to help you guys. I am your biggest advocate. You might think that I'm trying to make your life bad because I'm going to give you a lot of assignments. I'm going to make you use a day planner. I'm going to make you use your syllabus to plan with your day planner. And I'm going to make it kind of tricky. So like, if you don't listen to me and follow my instructions, that you will have problems. So this course is designed kind of like a video game that way. So like, if you listen to the course intro video and you follow the instructions, and I would say you should be even taking notes on this or print out the transcript and highlight things so that way you don't forget important things. But this is kind of like the manual for doing well in the class. And so this is like watching that story at the beginning of the video game where it tells you all the background information that you need to know to like solve the mystery of the game. Yeah, this is that video. So you want to make sure you watch the whole thing. So this is like a frequently asked questions thing, and we can go through it in a moment. But I'm just basically here to help you guys, and I want you to do your part. And I promise you that like the way the class is set up is with your best interest at heart. Everything in this class has been carefully designed and tested to make sure that it works. And like I said, I've been teaching this class probably like 17, 18 years now. I've been teaching online since the very earliest versions of this class. And so I've been the online instructor for this class a long time. And this this online class is something that I'm very proud of. It's very perfected. There's not going to be a lot of glitches and problems and things like that. There may be some, and if you do see any problems, issues, etc., please text me and let me know. I do offer extra credit points for students who find errors and problems because I want to fix all the problems. I don't want to leave problems there. So if you happen to find a glitch or something that's going on that's not right, please text me, and then that way I can give you extra credit points for that. So here's our frequently asked questions page, and this is still in the syllabus, and you can see we're in fast track. It's a fast track class. This is 8 weeks. There are no class meetings. It's completely asynchronous, meaning you can access the content whenever you want, okay? So are there course meetings? No. Can I turn in late work? No, unless you have a doctor's note or proof of a court appearance. For online classes, only medical excuses or court appearances that last longer than 1 week will result in an extension because you have a whole week to do each set of assignments. And ideally, you would start them early and get them turned in by Friday. I've been known to offer extra credit incentives for people who turn in their work early. So sometimes I just give everybody who turned in their work by Friday extra credit. And sometimes it's just one assignment that I've chosen. Sometimes it's if you turned in both assignments or all 3 assignments by Friday. I just kind of vary it up, and I kind of decide as I'm going. It's not something that you know about. It's just something that if you're turning in stuff early, you're going to be rewarded at times. Not every time, but at times you may get an extra reward. Okay? So that's just to give you an incentive to try it. So in order to, I guess, turn in work late, you would need to have like jury duty for the whole week, or an illness that's taking you out for a whole week that you have a doctor's note for. This can also be your kids or stepchildren that if they have an excuse that they need to be cared for. It does not work for parents. And this is because I've had a lot of students abuse that and say like, oh, my mom is sick. So I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, if you're caretaking your parents, that's not something you have to do. It's something you're choosing to do. With your children, you have to do it. You're the only person that's responsible for those kids, right? So that's why it's that decision. I typically tend to stick to my guns when it comes to the structure of the class because there's a set of rules in place to help you be successful. Everything's in place to ensure your success. This is no exception. So if for some reason you do have a doctor's note and you want to turn in something late, you're going to turn it in via email to me along with the doctor's note before the next week after your excuse ends. So like, let's say your doctor's note spanned a week and you missed that whole week, then the following Monday after that, I would expect you to have that turned in with the doctor's note or with the court appearance excuse, so I can see that that's what was going on, and then I will grade your assignment. But I'm going to say that because this is an online class, I don't get too much late work because there's not too many things that span a whole week. So the reason why it's this way is because I want you to turn in your items early. So if something does come up, you still have time. So if you turn stuff in by Fridays and you don't wait till Monday to turn in your assignments, like all assignments are due on the following Monday after they appear in the syllabus, unless there's another due date next to them. And I'll kind of show you as we're going down. When is homework due? The following Monday after it appears in the syllabus. And again, no late work. And I'm really strict about this. Like you could tell me all kinds of problems, etc. I'm just going to say, sorry, I don't grade late work. And this is for you and also for me because I'm busy and I don't have time to go back, circle back and grade your work late. Okay. Like my life is busy too. So you don't have time to do late work. I don't have time to circle back and grade it. So we're just going to forget about that. If you miss an assignment, you're going to move forward. There is extra credit that you can do to make up some of the work. Okay. And I'll show that to you as well. Okay. So you're only going to email homework if Canvas isn't working or if for some reason you have that late excuse and you're turning in work late. Okay. But please text me if you've emailed me something important like that, because I've had things go to spam folder and I didn't even know that it was there. So I've had students so mad at me because I didn't grade something that they emailed me, but I'm like, did you text me though? Because I didn't know that you emailed me that and I have to go find it. It's been a quarantined email because you sent it from a non-Chafee email. So if for some reason you do text me, or I'm sorry, you do email me, your best bet is to use your Chafee email because then I might actually get that email. If it's an outside email, I might not get your assignment. Okay. What if I miss an assignment? Well, then there's some extra credit assignments that you can use. But it's within reasons. Like if you missed every assignment, you wouldn't be able to make up every assignment with extra credit, just some. What if I'm unable to access the internet? So this is something that comes up many times throughout the term. So it says, I suggest you don't wait until the last minute to do your assignment. So if your internet does go down, you can always move somewhere else, access it somewhere else. And not being able to access the internet is not a good excuse for missing work or turning in things late. So if you're like, oh, I was going to turn in, my internet wasn't working, I'm going to say tough. Because you should have turned it in early. You shouldn't have waited till the last minute. And I hope that you learn for the next assignment. And I'm not doing this to be mean. I'm doing this to help you because you need to learn how to turn things in on time. If you already know how to do that, then I'm not really teaching you anything and you're not going to be upset about this process, okay? It's only the students that are used to doing last minute work and turning everything at the last minute that are going to be affected by this policy. And you are the ones that need help with this. So that's why it's this way. There is a $19.99 per month California Connects option for you. So if you click on this, it's going to take you to California Connects. It costs $20 as long as you can show that you are a student. So you need a student ID to do that. And I do have something in Canvas where it tells you how to get a student ID. And when we come across that, I will go over it. So let me go back to our syllabus here. What did I do with the syllabus? Okay. I'm not in the syllabus anymore. Where did my syllabus go? Maybe I accidentally deleted it, closed it. Did I accidentally close it? Silly me. Someone is emailing me. All right, so where were we? I guess I closed it on accident. We were somewhere in this neighborhood. Oh, I clicked on California Connects. That's what happened. All right, so I have a disability. Oh, by the way, the California Connects thing is like a mobile hotspot that works anywhere in the United States. It's not going to work in another country. Oh, also a disclaimer here. If you're trying to access this class from another country and you can't access Canvas, I am not going to let you make up work late. So if you are in another country and you're not able to access Canvas, you need to drop the class. I do not work with people who are in another country because Canvas doesn't work there. I can't do that with you. So I'm going to say you need to take another section of the class or wait and take it at a time when you're in the US or somewhere where you can access Canvas and the internet. Okay, that's just my policy because I've done so in the past and it's just been such a hard situation and kind of a nightmare. So I'm not going to do it again. So if that's your situation, you need to have access to Canvas and be able to access the course in order to take the course. I will not let you make up all the classwork after the fact. Okay. So I have a disability. What do I do? So if you have a disability and you have not already accessed disability programs and services, also called DPS, on campus, you can scroll back up to, our little section that has DPS in it, and you can find DPS and you can get in contact with them. You do need to have proof that you have some type of diagnosis. So you're going to have to go to the doctor and show this. And it does take a while to get DPS set up, okay? But if you already have DPS in place and you have a contract, first of all, I've signed most of the contracts already, but as soon as I get the contract, I'm going to sign it as soon as possible. Once your contract is signed, you need to make sure that it has Guidance 507 on the contract. If it doesn't say Guidance 507 specifically on that contract, you're going to have to get it added before I can implement any accommodations that you have. I would suggest that you set an appointment with me right away by texting me and letting me know you have a disability so we can talk and we can review your accommodations. We do have 6 quizzes in this class and a final exam that are, if you have testing accommodations, we're going to have to apply those. So whatever other accommodations you have, I want to go over it with you. So I want to make sure that we're on the same page and that you understand what you need to do. I understand what I need to do. So if you have a disability, your accommodations are not automatically implemented. You have to contact the teacher. So we have to have this meeting and you have to tell me that you want your accommodations implemented and then I can implement them. But just because I signed a contract and it's there does not mean that the accommodations are automatically implemented. I know it's stupid, but that is the way it is. So if you have any questions and you have a disability, please just contact me. We'll meet up it'll be 10-minute meeting, okay? Not a big deal. And that way I can help you. Okay, so What are the extra credit success centers? So there are 3 extra credit success centers that will be offered throughout the term, and each one's worth 25 extra credit points. And you're going to turn in like a photo of the proof that you attended. Okay, what do I need to buy for the class? Okay, so you need those 2 books. One of them on course is required, and I want you to get the online ebook so you have immediate access to it, because next week you have assignments out of that book. If for some reason you can't purchase the textbooks because you don't have the money, you will not get points on the assignment for turning in the books unless you do it by that deadline. If you don't, it's not a big deal. You can still buy the book anytime you want. You just won't get those points for it, but you'll need it. But there are copies of On Course on reserve in the library, okay? And that's the online library, the Cybrary, the new Cybrary in Chino, the Chino Library, and the Fontana Campus Library, and the in-person Rancho Library. So you can actually take the book for an hour physically in the library and read it for an hour. And then you have to turn it back in. If nobody else wants it, then you can check it back out for another hour, okay? There's also an online version of this for the online library. So you just go to the online library, look for that book, and you can check it out for an hour and use it. So there's really no reason why you need to buy the textbook. If you don't have the money, you can use the one at the library. But a lot of people get so bent out of shape. They're like, yeah, but I'm not going to get those points. Yeah, it's okay. It's 10 points. Like, you're going to be able to make it up with extra credit somewhere else. I'm just saying that students who purchase the textbook by the due date, they're going to get the points. And that is to encourage you to have your book in time to get started on the class. A lot of people dilly-dally around, they don't get the textbook, and then they start out really behind. So this assignment is designed to make sure that you have the course materials that you need. Okay, if you're not going to buy the textbook, no big deal. Just make sure you understand how to access the textbook online through the library, or that you're planning on going to one of the campuses to use the textbook. So again, you don't need to purchase the textbook if you don't have money, okay? If you have the money though, I would say do it, because it's so much more convenient to just have the textbook online at your fingertips at all times, okay? I do have in the assignment for the textbooks, pricing, links, all of that, okay? So what if Canvas is not working? So obviously if Canvas is down on the day that we're turning something in, I will give you extra time to turn it in. However, if the Canvas goes down a few times during the week and it doesn't affect our turn-in time, I'm not going to add extra time, because adding extra time just kind of makes things harder for you guys. If I need to, I will, but I'm only going to do that if internet is down for like the whole Rancho Cucamonga area, or if the whole internet is down in the whole area, or like a whole, like, let's say T-Mobile goes down or Charter goes down or something, and it's a whole bunch of people affected, I may give extra time. But if it's just you and your specific internet, I don't think that I'm going to give you extra time, because again, I want you to turn your stuff in early. So I have approximately 300 points of extra credit. It's like 2 something, but it's closer to 300 than 200. The best way to reach me, text. You can also reach me email, but like it says, 48 hours response time there. Okay, I have a key here for the syllabus. We have OC, SC, 7H, and Canvas, and extra credit. So OC stands for On Course. And this actually should say the 8th edition, because that's a major typo. SC equals Success Center. 7H equals 7 Habits of Highly Successful Teens. And Canvas, here it is. And EC is extra credit. So here's our course schedule. And the way I have things broken down, and you'll see there's like one schedule for each week on each page of the syllabus, okay? So the way I have it set up is it has the dates and what this week's going to be about. So this first week is going to be about growth mindset, being proactive, and taking tests, okay? And so the topics that we're going to cover, we're going to review the syllabus and course procedures, which we're doing right now. We have chapter 1 in On Course. There's going to be corresponding materials to that. There are paradigms and principles, which is the beginning section in the 7 Habits book, which again is optional. And we have a test taking section, which is taken from the On Course book, and growth mindset, which is kind of an extra thing that I've just added in because it's super, super helpful and important. Okay, so here's readings and items to study. So this would be all the reading that you need to do. Okay, any readings out of the 7 Habits book are optional if you bought that book. If you did not buy that book, you're just going to watch the presentation in Canvas. Okay, so all of the 7 Habits stuff have presentations in Canvas that go over what's in the book. Okay, however, I would say that the 7 Habits book is super, super helpful. It's an easy read and it's a life changing book, and it's pretty cheap. I bought the audiobook and I just listen to the audiobook all the time. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is also an option. If you already have that book or you know somebody that has it, it's a pretty common book. It's on a lot of people's bookshelves, but that book would also work. Okay. So it's the same material, but it's geared more towards like business. Whereas this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, is geared towards school. Okay. But more like high school, but at the same time, it's about school and it makes more sense for this class. Okay, so we've got a reading for chapter 1 out of On Course. We've got the Paradigms and Principles section out of the 7 Habits book. We've got a section on taking tests out of the On Course book. And then it says study your syllabus so you understand how the class works. And that's why I'm going over it right now with you. And then it says study for quiz 1 next week. Now it's going to tell you what things you need to study. So chapter 1 OC, Paradigms and Principles, 7 Habits, and the Paradigms and Principles section is going to be inside of Canvas, and it'll say Paradigms and Principles, and you'll look at it. Okay, we have course syllabus contents and the contents of Canvas week 1. So anything in Canvas in week 1, anything in the syllabus, and anything in chapter 1 of On Course is fair game for the quiz. Okay. The quizzes they take about 15 minutes. I think you have 2 chances or 2 15-minute time periods to take the quiz. The quizzes vary in terms of how many questions are on there, just depending on what type they are. But I've got short answer, fill in the blank, true, false, and multiple choice. So those are, you're not going to have essay questions, but you may have like a really short answer type of question where you have to write a couple sentences or something like that, or maybe a fill in. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is the syllabus contract. Okay, the syllabus contract is that one that's due on 10/16. Okay, and I'm telling you that it's due on 10/16 right now. And I'm also going to put that it's due on 10/16 in Canvas. But it's very important that you turn this in on time. Okay, if you don't, you may be dropped from the class. Okay, and that's because I have people that want to take the class, and if they're engaged and waiting to take the class, then I'm going to give your seat to them if you're not engaged in turning things in when you're supposed to. Okay, purchasing your textbooks is the other assignment. And then we have the discussion meet and greet. I do have this complete student choices self-assessment and journal 3 as well. That's something that's out of the on-course book. Now, if you don't have the book yet, because let's say you didn't listen to me and you bought instead of buying the ebook where you have instant access, that you just bought the paperback book, and it's going to come in the mail, but it's not going to be here for a week. You do not have that as an excuse to not do this assignment, because I already told you that if you access the book through the library, that you can use it for an hour at a time, whether that's in person or on the online library. The book is available. And there's multiple copies of the book available, so multiple people can access it at the same time. This is not something where, the book's not available for you. Oh, and I also didn't mention that at the Opening Doors office, Julie Law, who is our Opening Doors coordinator, keeps copies of On Course there too, so you can take a look at that if you're struggling with this assignment, okay? And then we have this extra credit Success Center Mindset date to be determined. So that's that extra credit assignment. I said, I got to check with the Success Center, make sure the procedure is the same before I post that. I don't want to confuse anyone. So every single week it's like that. And we've got like 5 assignments per week at least. Like we usually have 2 discussions. We have 2 assignments, and we always have kind of like ongoing bigger assignments happening too. And a lot of students are like, why is there so much? Okay, listen. There's so much because I'm teaching you to manage your time. And if you follow my directions and use this syllabus to write information in your day planner, you would be opening your day planner right now and you'd be writing down what you need to read and by what day. So what I would do is I'd put these reading items on a list in my day planner, and I would aim to have all this reading done by like Wednesday. I may not read every word, okay, but I'm definitely going to go through everything and kind of try to figure out what's most important and attack that first, okay? So I'm thinking the most important things for you is probably going to be the taking test section and chapter 1 of On Course. The paradigms and principles, there are a couple questions on that, but these two are the more important topics, okay, from the book that is required, okay? And then I'd write down my assignments and when I'm going to get them done. So on Wednesday through Friday, so I probably do this syllabus contract. I know I got to do right away, so I get that done right away, and then I would purchase my textbooks right away so I can get this assignment done down here, and then I would do these other two assignments, the meet and greet and the complete the student choice of self-assessment, and turn in my purchased textbooks on Thursday and Friday. This one we can't really start yet, okay? So week 2 is the same. It's got the dates, the things we're covering, same setup here. It's the same all the way through until we get to the end of the class here. And our class ends in the 8th week on December 5th, okay? And I believe December 5th, let me check and see. I think it might be a Thursday. Let me check. October, November, December. Yeah, actually, it's a Friday. So you have that whole week, which is great. Sometimes it's like we only have 3 days in that last week, and it's kind of stressful. Okay, so here is a page that I really want you to take a look at. I'm going to minimize this. Oh, that was my volume, not my minimizer. Oh, this is a PDF. That's why. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay, so I'm making it smaller. But see, this whole thing is assignments and grading. So we've got 2 journals. I'm going to tell you that you have a very reduced workload from other, I guess, versions of this class. So if this was like a 10-week class, a 12-week class, a 14-week class, a 18-week class, there'd be a lot more journals here, okay? So I've reduced the workload in this class. I know it still seems like there's a lot, but trust me when I say this is a very bare bones version, okay? We have 6 quizzes. Each are worth 50 points apiece. So I recommend you study. You have 2 chances to take the quiz. The most recent one counts. So if you like your grade the first time, leave it. If you take it again and you do worse, that's going to be your grade. If you take it again and do better, that's going to be your grade. Okay, so if you get 100% in the first try, you don't need to take it the second time. Okay, we have two parts to the final exam. The first part is multiple choice, short answer, fill in the blank, just like your quiz is. And the final exam part 2 is actually a couple of essay/short answer questions that are worth 100 points. And this is just going over your experiences in the class. Okay, we have some assignments. I'm going to zoom back in. Oh, I don't have the point total here, but I'll add it back in, I guess. 7 assignments, 20 points each. So what's 20 times 7? Like, what's 20 times 7? Okay, so it's 140. So 140 points should go here. The total should still be that. Let me make sure it is before I... Okay, Siri, what is 60 plus 300 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 160 plus 360? Ooh, it's not in there. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to fix this because this point total should be a little bit higher, and this should be 140 here. So I'm gonna have to fix it and re-upload it. Glad we had this chat. Okay, so here's some extra credit assignments here too. Oh, I didn't go over the discussions. So we got discussions here. There are 9 discussions at 40 points apiece. And in these discussions, I'll kind of show you how it's done in just a minute. We've got our time management packet, which is worth 100 points. And then we have this week's assignment, that student choice of self-assessment. Assessment 1 plus journal 3 is worth 40 points. There's going to be one at the end of the term too. So if you don't do this first one, it's going to affect the second one. And the same thing with these study skills one. We're going to do this one next week, and we're going to do this one at the end of the term. So you need to do this first one, so that way when you do the second one, it makes sense, because otherwise you're going to be out 160 points. You don't want that. So make sure you do this assignment. Let's see. Yeah, that's everything. So it says use your day planner to stay on top of your assignments. Okay. I need to fix this too. So I guess there's a few things I need to fix. This will tell you how many points you need to get like a C in the class, and that's going to change a little bit too. So sorry about that error. I will definitely post an announcement with the update to this information. Okay, so here's extra credit assignments. There's 290 points of extra credit. I did check this thoroughly, so I know. So we got extra credit office hours. I'm going to be offering 8 office hours at 15 points apiece. Okay, we've got a paper where you can write the paper, go to the Writing Center Tutoring Center, and Then create your final draft. So you have like a rough draft, your writing center slip, and your final draft for 50 points, a tracking form for 30 points, a 30-day commitment for 15 points, and then those 3 success center workshops that are worth 25 points apiece. Each one of them is about 45 minutes long. You just go attend it and have them provide you a slip that shows that you were attending. This is a poem I wrote for you guys. I'll read it for you. So, Success by Amy Borgi. If I asked you what success was, would you know? Would you know it if you saw it? Is it something you can show? Or is it something deeper that exists within our minds? Or something all the world can see? And are there different kinds? No need to make up your mind now. Just give yourself some time. The things you wish and hope for will come down into your life. It's simple if you want it. You only have to ask. Believe it and retrieve it. It's such a simple task. The things I want to show you, just open up your mind. Success is just within your grasp, not difficult to find. It's simple if you want it. You only have to ask. Enjoy it and employ it. Don't hide behind a mask. The lessons you must learn are ones you seem to know. Success is there within you. Just listen to your soul. Just be yourself. Follow your heart. Follow your dreams and hold on. If you're doing it right, you're living your dreams. You're making them happen. You're flying, it seems. I hope you liked it. Okay, last we have the syllabus contract. This is just an example, and this includes the disclaimer about the class, and I'm going to go through that real quick too. So you need to be aware this class is not just about study skills. It's about bigger issues that may be contributing to our success, like goal setting, motivation, self-management, which is time management, self-esteem, like how you feel about yourself, and how you deal with failure and when things set you back. And I'm guessing you do a pretty good job if you're here, because if you are in this class, it means that you are an academic or progress probation and you've chosen to take this class to have time to get your GPA up. You have like a year, as long as you pass this class, to get your GPA up or get your withdrawals retaken so you're in good standing. Okay, so we're going to be discussing some sensitive information, not negative, and personal information. So it's important that this class remain confidential. Like don't go talking to your friends and family about what people have said here. This is a safe space. So anything we share in our discussions here needs to stay between all of us and just here in Canvas, and that's it. All right, we will be discussing topics in class that have strong adult themes and like sexual relationships or suicide or mental illness or self-sabotage. Now, I don't know what kind of topics are going to come out, but what I can tell you is that when we start talking about our past, our problems, our futures, our dreams, our goals, our setbacks, our failures, our hopes and dreams, things get really intense and we can get kind of deep with this stuff. And so I just want you to be in a place where you're okay with maybe seeing some things that might trigger you if you're going through something. And if you're going through something like really intense, then this might not be the best time to take this class. Okay, I'm just letting you know that. You might just be like, it's okay, I'm going to just struggle through it. That's up to you. It's your choice if you want to do it or not. No one can make you either drop it or stay. It's up to you. The course will use strong language and profanity. So some of my materials have profanity in them. Sometimes I drop the F-bomb because I am so excited about what I'm saying. I don't tend to cuss too often, but it's like sometimes when I get really excited, it just comes out, right? Please know that I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you or anything. It's just that I'm just so passionate sometimes, and those words do exist. So if somebody happens to use strong language in a way where, it's like it accidentally slipped out, whatever, I get that. But what I don't want to see is like malicious, mean behavior or targeted behavior or racism or any of the isms. I've never had a problem with any of this stuff. My students have always been very respectful, and I know that you guys will be as well. I'm not worried about it, but just in case, if you do cause trauma or drama or whatever, I do have the option to remove you from the class at any time through disciplinary action. I would have to show what you did, and I don't want to have to do that. But if somebody was being like cruel, mean, bullying someone else, etc., like I would take action. So just so you know, I want us to be respectful to each other. Okay, so it's a laid back atmosphere. We're here to have fun. We're here to learn, but we need to respect each other. And lastly, if you can't take the class for any reason, like you just got busy, your mom is in the hospital and you're traumatized and you can't finish, whatever it is, please drop the class. Now, let's go back here to the top. I want you to know that the drop deadline, the final drop deadline for this class is November 13th. If you're in the class past November 13th and you don't finish the class, you're going to get an F. It says FW for fail to withdraw, but it counts as an F. You do not want that. So if for any reason you're not going to continue to take the class, you want to drop before that November 13th date, you're not going to get your money back. It is going to go down as a W on your report card. And for some people, that would be bad, because if you have more classes that you have not finished than you have completed classes, you're going to be on progress probation, and you don't want that. So before you drop, I really recommend you do talk to me, okay? I also want to let you know that even though we have holidays and things, the holidays are not going to affect our course schedule. Like, we don't have time to like take 3 days off. We just don't. So the course workload is going to be the same every single week, except for maybe that last week. It'll be more like you're kind of playing catch up and finishing everything up. Okay, so let me go back to where I was in the syllabus here. So this is the contract you'll be signing, but you're not going to sign it in the syllabus here. You're going to sign it in Canvas, okay? So let me go back to where we were here. So for each week of the class, you're going to do these things in order. You're going to check the syllabus for readings and assignments and put them in your day planner, right? You're going to check the modules tab and find the appropriate module for the current week. Check the assignment list at the top of the module like I showed you. I'll list any changes to the syllabus there, and I also will create an announcement about any changes made to the syllabus. Do the assigned reading for the week first. Attend any class sessions. We don't have any for this class. Watch any movies and explore the online material. Complete the assignments. If it appears in Canvas, you are supposed to read it, watch it, or complete it. There's never something in a module that you don't need to review. Review all the materials. And then you're going to turn in your homework. And I would also study for that quiz too. All right, so quizzes are given out at the beginning of the week, and you have the whole week to take them. Okay, so I'm again reiterating, you don't turn in late work in this class. The extra credit assignments are cool. I've already mentioned this, 3 hours of Canvas plus 3 hours of reading plus 3 hours of homework equals 9 hours per week. That's how much you're going to spend in this class, and you are actually going to spend about that time, maybe a little less than 9 hours. But it's almost 9 hours. And I use a very special technique to make sure that my assignments can be completed in that amount of time. If it's taking you a lot longer to finish the assignments, please contact me, because it may be that we can do something to help make it a little easier for you, okay? So you need to have at least 9 hours a week to devote to this class. If you don't have it, please drop right away so we can get somebody in here that does have that time. The big projects in this class, we've got a time management packet, and that's pretty much the only big project we have. Everything else is like just weekly assignments, and then we have our final exam, which I guess people could consider a big project, but it's really not that big. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. And if you look at the syllabus, you'll see the final's only worth it's worth a small portion of your grade, essentially. Okay, so this is about how to navigate through Canvas, and feel free to check that out. Most of this is just repeat stuff. This is just stuff we've already gone over. How many times have I said this? I don't accept late work. It's in there and in there and in there. Okay, so this is important. I strongly recommend that you build regular study time into your schedule. Students that do their homework right away, like right when you get it, have more free time to have fun. Plus, you don't want to turn in your work late, so feel free to turn it in early. Late work gets 0 points always, but early work sometimes gets extra points. So, okay, so I usually update things on Wednesday and again on Sunday and Monday. So I usually am updating on those days. All assignments are due Monday at 11:59 p.m. and it takes me about a week to grade your assignments. Okay. So I'm going to go back here to modules instead of clicking next, so I can kind of choose where I want to be here. So there is a section here that tells you the answers to the frequently asked questions that we did in the syllabus. There's also a video, so you can watch the video, or you can read just read the FAQ, which we already went over. Okay. Let's see. This is the purchase list of the books you need. This might make it easier for you to make sure you know what you're supposed to have. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press next here. going to the next place. So this is the section on your day planner. So don't hate on the day planner. It's magical and it will transform you into a more organized version of you if you use it. You can watch the video or you can read the instructions. So I have multiple ways that you can access that. It's the same information. Okay, so this is the assignment, and I'm going to have to leave student view because it's not available yet, but this is what it's going to look like. So we have an example of how to turn in assignments on Canvas. This is a video that will show you how to turn things in. And if you receive financial aid to purchase your books, you have to purchase them through the Chafee campus store. Okay, if you don't receive financial aid, then you can buy your textbooks however you want. So a lot of people ask, why doesn't this course have free textbooks? Let me explain. So this program was created using a custom textbook developed in conjunction with Skip Downing, the author of On Course, which is your textbook. The core content of this course comes specifically from this book. Like, we basically base this course off of this book. So we can't offer the course without making you purchase the book, because that would be against the law. It would be like plagiarizing an entire book, okay? We can't do that. So it would violate a bunch of copyright laws and it would be illegal. So that's why you have to purchase this book as part of the class, okay? And the cheapest rental is through Perlego. It's $44, but like if you forgot to cancel your subscription at the end, they charge you another $22. Most of the places, it's about $53 at this point, and I cannot believe this book is over $50. It's been like between 30 and 45 for the past like 10 years. So it's kind of crazy that it's that much now. Okay, the second book is optional. The day planner. So you can actually find a free day planner on Chafee campus. It's called the Panther Handbook. And it's just a handbook with all of the information about the university, like how to do different things. And then it has a day planner in it. That's free. You can get it in these places. Otherwise, the cheapest place I found is like Dollar Tree, 99-cent store, and Walmart. Okay. The day planner is not expensive. You can get whatever day planner you want as long as it's daily or weekly. Okay. So there's no like minimum requirement in terms of how much money you have to spend. You can get it for free if you want. If you can't afford to purchase the book and day planner, again, I said you can choose not to purchase it, use extra credit points, and go use the on reserve copies in the library. Okay, so here is the information on purchasing. Okay, so you can click on here's from the publisher On Course. Okay, so it's going to be $53.99. That's the same exact price it is at our Chafee bookstore. You can go, this is for our bookstore, but when you do this, you're going to go up to textbooks, click buy and rent. You're going to click shop for your college course materials. You're going to select the campus. You're going to select guidance. Where's guidance? Guidance. There we go. Selecting a course, guidance 507. And then you'll select Dr. Borgi and add to the course list and get your books. Here are the books. So exact same price here, $53.99 for the ebook. You want the ebook. It's a used book for $13.50 is the going rate. The new book, $17.99. I've seen it cheaper other places. And you do not need this. On Course 8th edition, this is the textbook, not the ebook. So the actual textbook is $156.95. And that's ridiculous. Don't buy that one. Just get the digital copy, okay, please. We don't want you guys spending needless money. I'm not trying to break your bank. I'm trying to honor the law, okay? So next thing we got here is this 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens paperback. We just saw that link. This is On Course through Vital Source. It's the same price. And actually, this is the delivery system that Chafee uses. So if you're going to do this, you might as well just do it through Chafee, okay? This is Perlego, and you can access the 7 Habits book this way. I don't know if they have On Course. Let's check it out. So what you do, let me see if it has On Course too. They do have a lot of textbooks here. I don't think they have on course, unfortunately. That might have been a little misleading, but you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? Okay, we got Simon and Schuster's 7 Habits. This is the publisher, so it's going to have every single version. So the paperback here is $18.99. The ebook is $13.99. The audiobook is $19.99. $9.99 for the abridged. This is like a shortened version, and I'm gonna say the shortened version sucks. I actually have downloaded that one. Here's the unabridged one. That's $20. So the whole audiobook is $20. It looks like, but I saw the audiobook for cheaper somewhere else. So I would say definitely peruse your options if possible. Okay. Here's Amazon. So Amazon is useful, but sometimes it can be not useful. So Kindle is $13.99. So it's fairly cheap this way. I don't know about the audiobook, but let's check it out. I think this is where the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens audiobook. Yeah. So let's see if we can find that. How to win friends and influence people. I don't know why that's the audiobook. So I did see it here for like $13 earlier today, but I don't see it now. Oh, here we go. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, the Ultimate Teenage Success Guide, Audible audiobook for $13.09. So this is actually cheaper than the paperback, which makes no sense, but we can purchase it and have it available in our library instantly and listen to it. I prefer to listen to all my books. Okay, to turn in this, you're going to take a photo or a screenshot of the books or the receipts for your books. If you have the books and planner in your hands, you can take a picture of them like this next to your face so I can see that you physically have them in your presence. Or you can give me receipts showing that you purchased the books and they haven't come yet. If you have the online book, you want to take a screenshot of the page from the middle of the book, not the title pages or the beginning of the book, okay? Because you can just pull that off the internet from anywhere, so it doesn't mean you actually bought it. So please use the middle of the book and take a picture of a page and upload that. Okay, so to upload, you want to make sure that you follow these instructions carefully. You basically have to upload. I'll show you actually. I don't know if I can actually do that because I don't think it's available to turn in. It's not available to turn in yet. But if you watch this video, it'll show you how to do it. But essentially you have to put all the pieces, so all the pictures into the assignment, then press upload. If you upload something else after that, it'll bump out everything else that you've uploaded. So only your most recent upload stays in the assignment. That is important information to know. So this assignment has a rubric. The rubric is underneath the assignment, and it's 10 points for having the photo of on course, and it is 10 points for having a picture or of the receipt or book, the day planner, and you get 10 extra credit points if you have the 7 Habits book. So you could get 30 out of 20 if you got all of these, and you would start with like 10 points of extra credit, which is great. Okay, I'm going to show you how I grade, just so you understand how important the rubric is, okay? So I'm just gonna, I think this is somebody's assignment here. So yeah, this is high grade. So 10 points, 10 points. So I would just go, bam, she has it, bam, she has it. And if you have this one, I'm just gonna add in 10 points. I would say save, and that would give 30 points, okay? So I can like take those away too, right, really easily, by just going 0, 0, 0, okay? And I don't know if I have, sorry, Janeth, because your assignment's going to say this. It's going to say 0 until, oh, I know how to do it. I just go like this, put it blank. There we go. But literally, that's how I grade. So the rubric for the assignment is actually going to tell you how you're being graded, just so you know, okay? So I'm going to head back to the modules again, and we're going to pick up where we left off. So that's how you turn in your assignment for the week for your textbooks, okay? So that's up here. Here's the thing on Grammarly. Here's the thing on how to access Zoom. Okay, and here's where you sign the syllabus contract. So let me go over this with you. So we have the syllabus contract assignment. This is the assignment that you complete it or you get dropped from the class. Okay, so you got to read the disclaimer. Okay, which we've already gone over, right? And you're going to copy and paste the syllabus contract. So what you're going to do is where it says from here, you're going to basically copy this. And then you're going to create a document. And you're going to paste it. Just kidding. Control C. Control V. There we go. Okay, so now I have it here. I'm going to save it to my computer. So I got it. I'm going to fill in my name here. And I think that there's actually a video of how to do this, but so I would fill in my name here, and then I'm going to sign it here. So I can use DocuSign to sign it, and there are instructions in the assignment how to do it, and it'll date it for you. Or you can print this out, sign it with a signature, and then take a picture of it and then upload that. Okay, those are your choices. For part 2, you're going to type a question or comment here. So you're just going to come in here and say, Dr. Borgi, I love this class. If you have a question, you can stick it here. Then you're going to save that and upload it. It's that easy. So easy. Okay? No problem. I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. Okay? But that's that assignment. Here's the criteria. You've signed it. You get 10 points. And student has signed using DocuSign or other signature program. The student has used DocuSign or other legal signature to sign the document, and the date is present. So it needs to be you physically signed it with your hand, and you have a copy of that signature there, or you use DocuSign to complete it, or another signature program that has a time and date stamp. The student has left a comment or question for Dr. Borgi for the other 10 points. So if you left out either one of those things, you would be missing points. That's how I grade, okay? And then the syllabus should be the next thing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to modules. That's the course intro module. We just went through it. Okay, now we're going to go to this module, and I'm going to let you go through this one because I don't want to take away the joy and fun. Okay, but I do want to point out some things. Okay, so we've got the week 1 assignment list here that goes over the assignments. Okay, and the reason why it's this way is for disabled students. It has a dot next to each row so you don't miss anything. Okay. So these are the readings and items to review that were exactly the same as the syllabus. These are the assignments due. It should be October 20th, but assignments due by October 20th. So we have syllabus contract, purchase your books, the discussion meet and greet, and complete the student choices self-assessment in Journal 3. Okay, this extra credit, I'm going to give it to you when I have a chance. Okay, so that is where you're going to start, and then you're going to go through this module. I have some course testimonials. I would really strongly recommend you watch this video. It's really cute and you will like it. And I'm going to be probably asking you about it later. And then we've got course testimonials. So all of these are testimonials from previous terms. I have not added the most recent terms because I haven't had time. I'm just going to say that. They exist. They're there. Maybe I will add them if I have time before we start the class on Monday. But chances are I will not have time. So I'm just letting you know that these are a little old, but that's okay. Here's some backstory. Here's some testimonials I've chosen to share with you. I handpicked those thinking they would be very helpful. These are all, these other ones are all just like files. So you'll click on them. Let me just toggle this close so I don't have to keep scrolling past it. So all of these, if you click on it, it's just going to download the whole thing, right? You can download it here, but you can also read it. So you can read as many of those or as few of those as you want, but what I want you to kind of know is like, what's the gist of what students are saying about the class? There's a question on that, on your test, on your quiz that asks you, what's the general thing that these students all have to say about the class? People have about the same things to say. There's always somebody disgruntled, but most people are pretty happy. So here's the journal assignment. Okay, so you're going to follow the directions and turn that in. And here's the section on paradigms and principles. Here's the meet and greet discussion. This is a really fun discussion. I'm going to go in here and just show it to you really quick. So basically what you're going to do, you're going to watch this video on identity shifting. please forgive my appearance. I think I was up for like almost 24 hours when I did that video, but you know, I was a busy girl. So anyway, I was on vacation, I think, when I shot that. So anyway, you're gonna basically draw a picture of an evolved version of you, and I'm gonna give you. Let me show you this. Here's an example of some of these assignments that were created in my in-person class. You can kind of see what they look like. You're welcome to create your drawing digitally or by hand, and so you're going to draw a picture of the evolved version of you. Include any superpowers that you 2.0 has with explanations of each superpower. You're going to take a photo or screenshot of your picture. You're going to add a photo of yourself to your Canvas profile. So see how mine has a photo of me? Yours is going to have a photo of you so we can see who you are. Since this is an online class, I want to see who you are. So that way I know who I'm talking to and who I'm grading. In the text box, you're going to introduce yourself and you're going to answer these questions. Basically write an explanation of how old you are as the evolved you 2.0, explain what you can do now that you couldn't do before, and include both a text explanation and a photo of you. Okay, so then you're going to go back and respond to 2 other students' posts using at least 5 sentences for full credit. Basically, I require a certain sentence amount, so like you have to have at least this many sentences, because this is all really subjective stuff, and I'm not going to grade you on like what you're saying to someone else. I'm grading you on following the directions for the assignment, and that's it. I do have an extra credit opportunity here. I'm choosing the most creative U 2.0 drawing as the winner, and that person gets 20 points of extra credit. So you can take a look at the examples to get better ideas. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them off to me. Because I'm so nice, I'm going to go over. Oh, wow, I'm in week 2. I'm going to go over this too. So for this, you want to make sure you follow the directions. You're basically going to take this self-assessment, you're going to copy and paste this table, and you're going to record your scores. Make sure you follow those directions carefully. This is in the textbook, so you're going to need to access the textbook, page 32 through 35, to complete the student choices self-assessment. The journal questions are here, so you could just, like if you copy this whole thing, like if I just went like this and copied it into a document, then I could just answer these questions. Make sure you follow the length requirement for these 2 questions, which is at least 5 sentences, okay? And then you can see in the rubric, that's how I grade it. Students must have all 8 scores listed. Students answer question 2 with at least 5 sentences. Students answer question 3. Now you'll see these 2, and these are little badges you can earn in all of your classes as long as they add these badges. And so like if you get 3s or 4s, it gives you like a point towards that badge. And once you get like 3 of these across different classes, then you get this badge, and you can put that on like your resume or add it to your Letterman jacket or whatever you want to do. But it means you've mastered a skill that you could then put on your resume, which is kind of nice. Okay. So discussions is going to show you all of the discussions in the class right now. I'll pin this one because this is the one we're working on. So I'm going to pin it. It'll be up here. Yeah, there you go. That's this week's. The other ones you wouldn't be able to see today. So like if we're reviewing it as you, the student, all you're going to see is that first one. Okay, quizzes are going to be here, and I think I probably have all my quizzes up, but like you're going to see probably nothing because there's nothing due this week. Like there's no quizzes, but there are quizzes, trust me. So, but there's 6 quizzes, and I have lots of versions of them here. So I'll be giving you one of these versions. Okay, you can check your grades here in the grades tab. Yours is going to look different than mine. Mine is a grade book. Yours is going to look, I don't know. I don't know what they do when we check. I don't think I can actually check the grade section for the fake student. All right. So course evaluations is if we were to have a course evaluation this term, which I don't think we do, you would be filling it out and turning it in here. The course analytics is where I can kind of check when you've checked in. So I can see when you enter the class, the most recent time you've shown up, how much time you've spent. It literally shows me, it doesn't show me every keystroke, but it shows me like when you're logged in. So if like you're like, I'm trying to turn something in on Canvas and I see you're not on Canvas, I'm going to be like a little suspicious. All right, anyways. Tutoring support, this is something that should be available to you once you're enrolled in any Chafee class online. This tutoring should be available for you. It might not be in place at this point, Oh, it is. Okay. So yeah, so you connect with, and here's sign up for a Success Center event. So you can sign up for Success Center activities here. Um, but it looks like I've got to sign in to Chafee again. Oh boy. Yeah, so this is where you would sign up for workshops. So all these workshops are in here. Now, I kind of feel like I'm going to need to figure out how to do this and give you better instructions because right now I don't know. I don't know what Pope Tech is. I'm not gonna lie. The submit final grades you won't be able to access, but that's for me to be able to turn in stuff. And I don't know what credentials is. Let's take a look at it. Oh, your Canvas badges for you guys. So those badges, you're gonna sign up so you can view what badges you have. Got it. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to see any of these other ones because they're all the ones that have the eyeballs like stricken are ones only I can see. Okay, so that pretty much concludes all of that. Let me make sure that I didn't skip anything. I don't think I did, but the biggest points are that there is extra credit that I'm offering on in YouTube. So if you go to this YouTube video in YouTube and leave me a response under my video with your YouTube account, make sure you include your first and last name in your response so I can give you points. And please answer this question. How helpful was this video on a scale from 1 to 10 and why? Okay. If I see your name and a comment there, as I've asked you to do, then I will give you 10 extra credit points to start the class with. I will not be awarding those points until I do my grading for week 1, so you won't see those points in there probably till week 3, just letting you know. And that's the extra credit that's available for watching the video in its entirety, okay? What else? I just want to say I'm really excited to teach this class again for the millionth time, right? And it never gets old, and I'm always excited for you. I always want you to do well, and I don't really care what happened before you got here. All I care about is what you show me from here on out. So you have a complete fresh start with me, and I believe in every single one of you. There's not any person that cannot tackle college if they really want to do it. If it's something you really, really want to do and you're willing to put in that time and effort, however much that takes for you, every person's different and you know what they're good at and what they're not good at. So if school isn't your thing and you are not sure if you're supposed to be here or not, I'm glad you're here actually giving yourself a chance to find out whether that's the case or not. School's not for everybody. I'm not going to say it is, but in all honesty, most people could get through college, especially the associate's degree, just by using the right skills. So I'm going to teach you those skills in this class, and they include things like good time management, good writing skills, using Grammarly to check your work. Just staying on top of your assignments is important, learning how to turn things in ahead of time, being able to manage your emotions effectively, being able to contribute to discussions in a professional manner, time management again, it's very important, and goal setting as they relate to our dreams and things that we really want for ourselves. And so I want to teach you how to get what you want from life, how to be the best person that you can be, and that's going to affect how you are as a student. You can't just change the student part of you. You got to change you. And so we're going to start with that change by doing this assignment U 2.0. Imagine yourself as the best version of yourself. What qualities would you have? What would you be like? What would you be able to do that you can't do now? And on that note, I'm going to say I'm really excited and I look forward to meeting you guys all in the class. Have a wonderful rest of the day.